Well, I don't normally put my face on camera anymore. I did when I first started Stock Car Facts, but then when I looked at it, I thought, oh my gosh, they're gonna think there's two people on here. I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need to be taking the focus away from who I'm talking to. But I really felt that while I do have other obligations here in the Detroit area, and I did feel that I needed to say something in the loss of Kyle Busch, and I don't think I ever spoke to him. Asked him a question as part of the media, raced against him as a team member in the ARCA series when he and Ron Cox wrecked together at Pocono. Called Ron Mr. Nobody, and of course we teased Ron about that endlessly. And racing is a big family. Well, I mean, a family member is not somebody you don't meet, but it could be somebody in your family that has extended family or a friend, coworker, or something that is very important to them. And that's kind of the way we view Kyle Busch, and that he's always at the forefront. You may pass him, you may nod, how are you, whatever. And that's where we're at right now. And the Kyle Busch to me was a paradox in that when he came in, I didn't enjoy the attitude at all. I thought that there's other ways to treat people. Matter of fact, I was the PR director of the ARCA Truck Series for 10 years, and we had a racer with us named Sean Zepp, and he raced with Kyle out in Las Vegas when he was stationed out there in the Air Force. And he told us about a time. He said Kurt had just moved on, to the Chris Trickle ride, and then into the Truck Series. But Kyle was still racing, the bull ring and different things in the Legends cars and whatever. And he said, he'd dominate, And he talked about how, he come down the end of the backstretch and lost it and crashed. And he took with him just an older guy that just races for fun. And Kyle jumps out of the car and starts screaming at that guy. It's like, you wrecked yourself and you're yelling at him. And to me, it's okay to have passion. But it's another thing to act like you're the only one in the whole wide world. So that's what I didn't like when I first saw Kyle Busch. But here's the paradox I'm talking about. There was another Kyle Busch that, everybody talked about Earnhardt. He was this, rough and gruff guy, but he was also a teddy bear, and he'd do anything for you and all this kind of stuff. And, but he never let anybody know about it. Well, Kyle Busch didn't seem to care that people knew that he and his wife wanted children. Now, let's face it, he married out of his pay grade, like most of us have done. Samantha, just an amazing person, and she turned his career around, let's face it. And so getting with her, he realized more, it seems like, the importance of family, but they couldn't have children. So what they did is they took that, what do they call that, IVF, and they had Braxton. Well, they were honest about it. They were open about that. Well, then they tried again, and they lost that baby. They tried again and had Lennox. And they were, again, very open about those issues. And they took that passion and funneled it into Bundle of Joy. Their I don't know what you call it, a charity organization, what do you want to call it. And to me, that showed me a different Kyle Busch, and that he does appreciate life. He lived life to the fullest. That's no secret. But also, he wanted to bring life into the world and help others who had issues with it. So, to me, that's another Kyle Busch. That's a special Kyle Busch that wanted to help others enjoy parenthood. What do they call it? When you have a boy and a girl, they call it the $1 Million Family. I've never researched where that saying came from, but I guess that you feel like $1 million having a boy and a girl. And to me, that's the legacy Kyle Busch is going to leave. Now, your heart just aches for Richard Childress. This is the second major tragedy he's had involving a driver of his. And I also look at it like this. Kyle Busch is the winningest driver in the NASCAR platforms. And when he retires, he doesn't get to enjoy the accolades that come with that. So my recollections of Kyle Busch are going to be his helping others have a family. And please keep their family in your prayers, Samantha, Brexton, and Lennox, because they're going to need it. This is such a high profile and huge tragedy that they're dealing with. Tragedy, horrific happening, whatever you want to call it. All these words apply. And I don't think any of them are enough. And I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you letting me share this. I know a lot of other people are sharing their thoughts and ideas on the matter. But again, that's going to be what I take away. Not that he's rowdy, not that he was a jerk to people or the media. And sometimes they ask for it. Let's face it, we could be a bunch of jerks. But to me, his legacy is going to be the Bundle of Joy Foundation. Thanks, folks. We'll talk to you soon.